Far beyond the reach of coastal sightlines, a silent armada operates. These are not merely fishing boats, but colossal, self-contained cities of industry. They drift across vast, open oceans, pursuing an unseen harvest. Imagine a factory, not on land, but afloat. A behemoth, worth an estimated $200 million, designed to conquer the sea itself. What secrets do these titans of the deep hold? How do they function, hour after hour, miles from any port, to feed a hungry world? These aren't day trips. These are voyages stretching months, sometimes even a full year, without touching land. Factory ships, often called motherships, are designed for extreme self-sufficiency. They are isolated ecosystems of labor and machinery, where the rhythm of life is dictated by the ocean's bounty and the ceaseless hum of their engines. A small floating nation, adrift in an endless blue, tasked with an impossible mission. But how does such a massive operation sustain itself? The hunt begins with pelagic trawlers. These are the vanguard, the true hunters, specifically designed to catch mid-water species like mackerel, herring, and pollock. Their nets are not just large, they are astronomical. Imagine a net so vast it could engulf multiple city blocks. These aren't just tools, they are powerful, industrial-scale machines, dragging through the ocean's depths, indiscriminately gathering marine life. A true test of engineering and endurance. What colossal force is required to wield such instruments? Once the trawlers have filled their gargantuan nets, a delicate but dangerous ballet unfolds. They rendezvous with the factory ships. These larger vessels, the mother ships, don't typically catch fish themselves, they are the processors. Fish are transferred from trawler to factory, often in the tumultuous open sea, a logistical marvel. Imagine the coordination, the precision, required to move tons of live, wriggling cargo between two bobbing giants. A risky transfer, where a single misstep could mean disaster. Once aboard, the scale of the operation truly becomes apparent. Thousands of tons. Not hundreds, but thousands, of fresh fish, all arriving simultaneously. Mackerel, herring, pollock, anchovy, a teeming, shimmering mountain of marine life. It must be moved, sorted, and processed with astonishing speed. Time is the enemy of freshness, so the internal systems spring to life, a complex network of conveyors and channels, all racing against the clock. How do they manage such a staggering volume without compromise? The factory ship is a marvel of engineering, a mobile city of production. Its sheer size allows it to carry not just processing lines, but also vast storage freezers and living quarters for its substantial crew. These are vessels designed for enduring independence, capable of operating for months, even a year, far from land. Such extended operations demand unparalleled resilience and an incredible logistical footprint. What kind of self-contained ecosystem can truly sustain such an endeavor, so far from any port? Once inside the belly of the ship, the raw catch transforms. This is not simply a boat, it's a floating food factory. Complex processing lines hum with activity, turning raw fish into fillets, surimi, or fish meal. The design prioritizes efficiency and hygiene, minimizing human contact wherever possible. Every stage, from gutting to packing, is meticulously choreographed by powerful, often unseen, machinery. A continuous flow, a relentless conversion. But what level of automation defines this hidden industry? At the heart of the processing are the filleting machines. These are not just machines, they are precision instruments of incredible speed. Automated systems can process between 100 and 200 fish every single minute. Imagine the blur of blades, the efficiency, the sheer volume. This high-speed automation isn't just about productivity, it's about maintaining optimal hygiene and consistency, ensuring minimal human touch from catch to package. A testament to industrial ingenuity, churning out product with astonishing speed. Freshness is fleeting, especially at sea. This is where flash freezing becomes critical. Within minutes of processing, fish are subjected to extreme cold, plunging to temperatures between -40 degrees Celsius and -60 degrees Celsius. This rapid freeze locks in nutrients, prevents bacterial growth, and preserves the fish's quality as if it were just caught. It's an immediate embrace of ice, transforming perishable cargo into a shelf-stable commodity. This extreme preservation technique is the secret to feeding distant markets. How does this deep freeze work its magic? Once frozen, the product moves to cavernous storage holds. These are not merely refrigerated rooms, they are vast, icy warehouses, maintained at cryogenic temperatures. A single factory ship can hold an astonishing 50,000 tons of frozen product. This immense capacity allows the vessels to remain at sea for extended periods, accumulating a staggering amount of seafood before needing to offload. Imagine the logistics of filling such a colossal space, piece by piece, day after day. A frozen mountain, hidden beneath the waves. Beyond the machines and the processed fish lies the human element. Crews of 100 to 300, from diverse nationalities, endure months of isolation. Long shifts, relentless noise, and the constant motion of the sea take a profound physical and mental toll. Imagine the psychological strain of being confined to a steel vessel, with no sight of land for half a year or more. This isn't just a job, it's a lifestyle of extreme sacrifice, fueled by the promise of feeding millions. What unseen burdens do these individuals carry? The ocean is a capricious master. Harsh weather, towering waves, and the inherent dangers of heavy machinery make these ships some of the most perilous workplaces on Earth. The risk of injury is alarmingly high, from slippery decks to powerful processing equipment. Crews work in a constant state of vigilance, battling not just the elements, but exhaustion and the inherent unpredictability of a moving factory. Every day is a battle against the sea, against the machine. What happens when the ocean truly turns against them? The immense scale of fishing comes with a shadow, bycatch. Unintended species, including marine mammals, seabirds, and non-target fish, are caught in these vast nets. This is a significant environmental concern, raising questions about sustainability and the delicate balance of ocean ecosystems. While some factories strive to minimize or even utilize bycatch for fish meal or oil, the sheer volume of incidental catch remains a contentious issue. What is the true cost of this efficiency? Despite the controversies, the output of these floating factories is staggering. A single factory ship can process thousands of tons of fish every day, ultimately contributing to a global seafood market worth billions annually. These vessels play an indispensable role in feeding millions worldwide, providing accessible protein to diverse populations. Their impact is profound, reaching dinner tables in every corner of the globe. But how does this unseen bounty finally reach us? To sustain such a complex operation far from land, an intricate logistical ballet unfolds. Supply ships are the veins of this fleet, bringing vital provisions, fuel, and essential spare parts. They also facilitate crew rotation, allowing exhausted workers a precious return to shore. These support vessels are the unsung heroes, maintaining the flow of life and labor to the floating factories, ensuring their continuous, relentless operation. Without them, the entire system grinds to a halt. How do they find these moving targets in the vast ocean? Just as supplies arrive, the processed and frozen bounty must depart. Carrier ships act as the arteries of commerce, transporting the accumulated frozen product to distant ports. Imagine the sheer volume, 50,000 tons of fish leaving the factory ship, destined for global distribution networks. This final, crucial link connects the hidden world of the factory fleet to the supermarket aisles and restaurants, completing the journey from the deep ocean to our plates. This vast chain, all from a factory that never touches land. Operating in international waters often means navigating a complex web of regulations, or the lack thereof. Enforcement of fishing quotas, bycatch limits, and labor laws can be challenging, leading to accusations of unregulated practices. This gray area allows some vessels to operate with less scrutiny than their land-based counterparts. The hidden nature of this industry, far from the watchful eyes of port authorities, fuels concerns about sustainability and ethical labor. Who truly oversees these ocean giants? The world's largest floating fish factories are more than just ships, they are a testament to human ingenuity and our insatiable demand for food. They represent a hidden industry, operating with unparalleled scale and logistical complexity, delivering essential protein to millions. Their existence is a stark reminder of the lengths we go to extract resources from our planet. While shrouded in mystery and facing environmental scrutiny, their role in the global food supply chain is undeniable. A necessary evil, or an evolving necessity. Every fish landed, every ton processed, carries an invisible price. The human cost of relentless labor and isolation, the environmental cost of bycatch and potential overfishing. These massive floating factories represent the cutting edge of industrial food production, a system designed for efficiency above all else. They feed millions, yet their operations remain largely unseen, their challenges often unheard. This hidden industry presents a paradox, vital for global sustenance, yet fraught with profound implications. What does the future hold for these ocean giants? As global populations grow and demand for seafood intensifies, these factories will continue their relentless work. Yet, increasing awareness of marine ecosystems and ethical labor practices hints at a potential shift. The challenge lies in balancing the world's hunger with the health of our oceans, in ensuring that these powerful machines can harvest responsibly. The questions remain: can this hidden industry evolve? Can the cost be mitigated? The answers, like the ships themselves, are still out there, on the vast, mysterious ocean.